Oh, welcome everybody. I'm Dr. Michele, Living Well with Dr. Michele, and this is our chakra class. Today I wanted to help you learn how to use some acupressure points for low back pain, but using acupressure points that you can reach yourself when you need to. Because we can definitely learn how to use a tuning fork and acupressure on the spine, in the back, and do it on someone else or have someone do it for us. But sometimes we may all of a sudden bend down to pick up that little pencil, and then it goes out. And or maybe we have a back spasm, and or we're just achy, or maybe your spouse just gives you that little limp kind of massage. It doesn't really do it very long, and you just need to decrease some pain or stop a muscle spasm, and hopefully this will help it go away or get you at least to where you can even get into the car, because sometimes it could even get that bad. So I want to share some things with you with that, and some essential oils that are good for back pain. I have quite a few here, but we will really just talk about a few, and then some others are just for a little bit more specific symptoms that may be going on with your back pain, and I'll just kind of mention them. So if you want to just take note of what they are. So we will be talking about frankincense, deep blue, aroma touch, and Siberian fir. Have some carrier oil with you, like coconut oil, almond oil, grapeseed, even olive oil will work. Make sure you have some water handy if you get thirsty. So let's talk a little bit about Deep Blue is an essential oil blend from doTERRA, and it has a number of essential oils in this blend that are together, so you can call it like a synergistic blend. A synergy means using one or more oils together that work really well together and even enhance the effects a little bit stronger than just one oil. And this blend is one that you would use topically. You would not take this internally, and it does have a special cap on here, a child's proof cap, which means that some adults can't ever open it. So it's not really that hard, but it really doesn't take that much. Just a few drops. If you mix it in with a carrier oil, it can really go a long way. And I just say put that deep blue right where it hurts. Some people really like reflex points, like on your feet or your hands, and you can definitely use those too. Apply the oil to your reflex point, say if it's on your hand or right here, and then massage that, or just rub it in. I really like to rub in the oil, like get it in, get it in the area, and you can add ice on top after you've rubbed that in, or heat to really help it penetrate deeply. If you're not getting the effects, if it's like pretty, bad pain or bad muscle spasm, I mean, you can add more 20 minutes later, half hour later, or an hour. You can keep adding essential oils and use them throughout the day as much as you want to, but everybody's skin sensitivity, is different too. So you have to keep that in mind, for yourself. Because if you do have a skin sensitivity, where it gets red or irritated or a rash, well, then you just stop using the essential oil, but you can continue to use a carrier oil. But generally speaking, 4 to 5 times a day might be if you have a lot of pain. But for just kind of maintenance is twice a day, like morning and evening, kind of like a wellness routine. That's a good amount that most people don't seem to have a sensitivity to. Some people might, but once or twice a day, and just you can use it as needed, or you can use it, like I said, like just a wellness routine. Like if you tend to have back pain, definitely that could be one that you would want to use. This is Deep Blue. It's good for bone pain, muscle pain, skeletal pain. It's I really love the aroma, and it's a little bit cooling. So anywhere too, if you have pain anywhere on your wrist, any kind of joint. And frankincense is one that I like to add with it. You can add the frankincense right after, or even before, because it is a, like what they call a base oil, so it's a little bit thicker. The aroma lasts longer, so you could add your frankincense to your spine first and then the deep blue. It's really a great combination. Anything chronic, add frankincense. Anything where you don't know what to do, add frankincense. Like if you're never sure, frankincense is the one of choice. And it's also great for your skin. Aroma Touch is great for muscle pain, muscle spasms. Again, it's another blend. It has the marjoram, which is good for muscles, basil, grapefruit, lavender, peppermint. So it's really an all well-rounded blend here, Aroma Touch. So you can even add, these as a layering technique, which we'll do one at a time, or you can just choose, one. Siberian fir is also great for bone pain, joints, muscle pain. It smells great. I would like to add it on last, because that aroma is kind of like that last lingering smell, that you smell. It really smells great on your floors. Use it as a cleaner on your countertops. So other oils that I just want to mention that we're not going to apply today, but you can, and that is like celery seed. And celery seed is one that you probably wouldn't think of, but it's good for neuropathy, like the kind of different pain that you might have, the burning, tingling, or numbness. Add celery seed with one of these other oils, with frankincense or deep blue. And if it's going down your legs or on your feet, definitely put it on your feet. This is one, then I would make sure that I do it, a couple times a day, like morning and evening, with that deep blue, or by itself. You could even, take a bath with these oils. If you're having, some back pain or muscle pain, add a few drops in with some hot, water, take a nice 20-minute bath. So the celery seed is good for that neuropathy. It's good for a lot of other digestive things also that you would normally think of celery for, and blood pressure. I want to mention ginger, because it is a natural anti-inflammatory, a natural spice that is one that can help if your blood is kind of getting too thick and viscous, kind of a blood thinner. That helps with pain too. Celery seed, black spruce is another one I just wanted to mention, that's also, because there's so many that are good for back pain, and black spruce is one that I really feel like gets to that emotional part of it. If you're having back pain and it seems to always get worse around a lot of tension, stress, or fear, then black spruce would be one that you would want to use. The juniper berry is great for your adrenal glands, and also your kidneys, your bladder, and back pain. Cardamom is another one, good for back pain, but also the lungs and respiratory system. So sometimes you can kind of think about, well, how do you choose an oil? But if you have a couple different things going on, that might help. Like, well, I have asthma, or I have a cough, or I'm tending to kind of feel dry throat, or then maybe you would want to say, okay, I'm going to choose cardamom and deep blue, or cardamom and Aroma Touch. Basil is good for your adrenals, like juniper berry, and it helps with kidney stones, like lemon does. I had some notes here. Spasm. So it's good for muscle spasm, or like when your back feels locked, like you move the wrong way and then all of a sudden you can't move at all and you're just bent forward or to the side, or your neck, maybe you get a really bad kink in your neck. Basil. Add that basil. Again, you can take a bath with it. You can eat, basil, just a little bit as a flavoring. The black pepper is warming. So if you need some oils that are a little more warming and not so cooling, try the black pepper. And it's also good for the emotions too, especially if you're just feeling like you're not being yourself, or you can't really speak your own mind or be who you really are, kind of afraid of like lack of confidence kind of thing. That's where black pepper. So knowing again, if there are any emotional components to it. And then rosemary, it just helps with pain also, and it's great as a tea. You can use an herb, rosemary. You can use the essential oil. Definitely, it's kind of minty also. It's great for your hair. That's a good one to add in. So if I was to use rosemary, I would probably do the frankincense, rosemary, and then the deep blue as far as just layering. So I think what we'll do is we'll get started with, let's put on our essential oils, and then we will do the acupressure with our tuning fork. Again, if you don't have a tuning fork, you can use your finger or a retracted ballpoint pen. And some of these, we may even do a little bit of both, with our hands and our tuning fork. We might find that both, one or the other, might work better. Okay. So let's start with the frankincense and lower spine. And then of course, if you do have pain, put it anywhere that you have pain, or across your lower, hips, buttock, thighs, wherever. So add a couple drops to your palm along with a few drops of your carrier oil. Make sure that you smell these, as you're doing it. That's part of it, the aromatherapy. Not everybody likes aroma, but I think that says something. They might like different ones, maybe not the same ones as you. But if you're just staying home and then it doesn't matter. Load up. Put your oils on. But you can always just put them on your feet, and then they're going to be in your shoes, and you won't really smell that strongly. But they do dissipate. I think even within 20 minutes they become lighter and lighter. But then you'll find that some are lingering and last a little longer. And as you use the oils, you'll kind of find what you really like and what you don't like. So the frankincense, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the back of the top of my neck also, my upper spine. And you can and when you're rubbing it in, rub it in like along your spine, both sides, and then even just right on top. It's like even do little circles. And you can rub the excess if you want on your forearms, because also the skin is thin and you will absorb the oil. Let's do the deep blue. Deep blue gives you a spine also, emotionally, so that you can stand up tall and straight and not be so wishy-washy, and not be knocked over so quickly and easily by somebody or some event or something like that. You might be wondering, well, how does she know all this? How do we know that these oils really do all this, for the emotions? I think it's pretty, it's just what people kind of find out by using them, just the same as with pain. Wow, I use this blend or this oil on the elbow, and then it's sort of like magic. I know I've made up a few blends for people for plantar fasciitis that really does work, and that's just really how it is. And then again, there are tons of books written about the subject, and so it's just reading and attending seminars on the oils that over time I just kind of, some of it I remember and retain, and then I'm always, having to go back to, just like you, and look at, different texts and books. And if you ever want to know, I'll post those books for you, that if you wanted to get some, because you can get them on Amazon, like Kindle books, or you can also order them. I like the printed book. I don't know, I just like that, the Aroma Touch, but I have them both ways. So let's put the Aroma Touch on. Back of the head. And the last one, the Siberian fir, great for bones, arthritis, bone spurs. So that's why this is a good addition. When you're using oil, sometimes we don't always know what is the problem, but we kind of want to hit all aspects like bone, ligament, muscle. So that's where the Siberian fir is great for bones. And oh, lemongrass is great for ligaments. So I didn't mention that, but that's another one that you could also think about, for pain or back pain in general. Is lemongrass, marjoram for muscles, basil for muscles or muscle spasm. Smells really good, but I feel like that's probably plenty um, to add on. So now you're just smelling the oils. Be sure that you're really nice and comfortable, you're warm, you're in a good place where you're not going to be interrupted. And first, before we do the acupressure, let's just kind of get ourselves oriented and open and receptive to treatment and to healing. So let's listen to our tuning fork and just place it a few inches away from our ear. We can start with I always like to start with the left. And let's do 3 times on the left and then 3 on the right. You can close your eyes. And just breathe normal, nice and relaxed from your lower abdomen. Your shoulders are just going up and down. Just relax. The stomach is rising and falling like a balloon. What color is the aroma that you're smelling? Let whatever color, just let it come to mind and let it just float around your head. I'm getting kind of a red purple. Place your tuning fork just about 4 inches or so below your belly button, just directing it kind of downwards towards your root chakra. Just opening up that root chakra, the place of survival, the I am. And when it dies, strike it again. We'll do it 3 times. The heart chakra. Again, we'll do it 3 times. We're just opening up our energy centers and making sure that energy is flowing before we begin. Just opening up our energy. Being sure to keep your arm relaxed, your hand relaxed. Some people like to put their finger kind of like that. That is okay. Or just hold it sort of right here. Or, just relaxing your hand like this. We don't need to grip it hard, and then we just give it a really loose flick, more of a flick on our activator. So we get used to using the tuning fork without straining. We're going to do the brow. Go to the side so I don't look like a unicorn at you. Last time, the brow chakra, a place of intelligence, of thinking, of intuition. Our pituitary is right there, so it does help with balancing our hormones. In fact, all of these together does that. So how does that feel? Now I feel a little more grounded and centered. And now, as far as back pain, one of the first things we want to do is stop pain. So the acupuncture point, large intestine 4, if this is your web between your index and thumb, and when you put it together, there's just a little fat that's the highest point. That is where it is. But also, if you go into the web this way, you can see that there's actually an indentation. But being that we're using a tuning fork or your finger, it is large enough that you will get the acupressure point. So if you are using your hand, you can press, if you press even into the little pocket there or into the hand towards the joint, you get an ache. It's sore, and you don't need to press harder than that. It doesn't need to be like, you don't need to have your fingernail dug in there. It doesn't need to turn red. But just with this amount of pressure, I mean, I'm feeling that, and you can hold and press it and go in little circles. I like to do 9 circles, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then now move your hand and your thumb in the other direction, 9 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I like to kind of pump, like just up and down, just like pushing in and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And as you're doing it, you have the intention going to wherever you have pain, if it's your spine, if it's your back, and just breathe in. And as you breathe out and push that air to the area and to the back, and it will warm up. It may even feel a little numb in the area of if it's back pain. And you can do it at least a minute. If you're having pain, at least a minute on one point before you would move on to the next point, okay? And you may have to repeat. So don't think that it's going to be instant, but it will start to take that edge off. And when you're in severe pain, even a little bit of improvement, sometimes you don't realize that it is better, except that you probably weren't able to like even move your leg or even to just stand up, and then now you can stand up, but the pain is so bad you still think you have that much pain. But they do work. And so with the tuning fork now, let's do the tuning fork. And with the tuning fork, you're going to be hopefully seated or somewhere comfortable where your arm is resting, and you don't have, again, you can press in a little bit with the tuning fork depending on your own strength and comfort, or just sit quietly and just feel the vibration on your hand. Even light, sometimes people like it really light. They feel the vibration more. Sometimes you can really press in and just, you also are doing compression along with the vibration. So let's start on our left, and we'll do 3 times on our left, large intestine 4. am just saying shh. It's the sound of the kidney, kind of like a crashing wave. Shu wei. Shh. It's kind of whispery. It's hard to be really loud with that sound, but it's shu wei. And just adding that in. Kidneys house the lower back and lumbar region, the lower spine, the reproductive organs, the bladder, the anus, the colon, the rectum. All of that is in the root chakra. The other side. Like this so you can see me. So that's really good for pain all over, anywhere in the body. The next one I'm going to show you is more for lower back and hip. I might just have to stand so you can see me, but please, you can do this seated, laying down, however. But this is in relation to your your oblique muscles that people don't always realize are the cause of low back pain. Quite often they are weak and imbalanced, and they are responsible for your bending and twisting and whatnot. So it's sort of on your side, and I will stand here and see if you can see. So level with your belly button, and you're just going out to your side. So we'll start on the left, and it's kind of almost right on top of it. This is the top of your hip, and you find the top of your hip bone, and then you just come up just a tad, and you are level with your belly button. Some people have hardly any space between their lower ribs and that hip bone. It feels like nothing in there, and then some people it's really a lot wider. But that could also be posture, and after working you will end up getting more space if you get frequent massage or tuning fork body work or something like that. So you can with your fingers, if I was to do massage, I would probably just do it like this, and you can feel that muscle. It might even be sore, and just kind of go around or press in, especially if you're having back pain. You can feel how that goes to the back if you press on it. And we can use a tuning fork for our class. We want to use whatever feels is easiest and what feels good, or maybe start with some pressure and then the tuning fork. And we're not just trying to relax these muscles. These muscles are inhibited. When we have back pain, we find, and research shows, that these muscles are inhibited, meaning that the nerves supplying these muscles are turned off, like they are not functioning optimally. They're actually weak. And that's where acupressure and acupuncture, I target the belly of the muscle, which gives you a little muscle twitch, and then you can feel it kind of jolt or quiver, and that turns the back. It's great for back pain.